Hi, this is Randy, and in this video, I am going to show you how to set up your bubbler. Now, when you're selecting an area to place your bubbler, first of all, make sure that it is smooth and level and stable. When you place your bubbler, the further away from a window that you are, meaning further away from sunlight, the longer you're going to be able to go in between changes on your bubbler water. So if you use a lower light plant like a Dieffenbachia or an Aglaonema, I can usually get 30 to 45 days before I have to change the water. If I use a plant like an Anthurium that has to be brighter and kept closer to the sun, it's more than likely going to need more water changes more often. Also, when you do select the area for your bubbler, do understand there is a possibility that the tube can put out a slight mist and possibly put a light vapor on the surface of your tabletop. So just make sure it's not a table that if it gets a little moisture on it, you're gonna not be upset. So I've selected my area. It's actually gonna be my production table. We're getting ready to shoot a video. So this is where I'm gonna set up my bubbler. When I've selected my area, I then take my ring light, I set it down where I'm gonna place my cylinder facing upward and make sure that you have it close enough to the power supply to light the light. Now we're gonna place the glass cylinder. This is real important. Make sure on the bottom of the cylinder on the beauty ring that all 6 rubber feet are attached and evenly spaced. If by chance a foot has fallen off, you do have 4 extra feet in your tube kit, so just make sure you replace it. Then simply center it over top of your ring light and we're ready to fill the tube. Go ahead and fill your cylinder with distilled water only up to about 6 or 7 inches from the top of the cylinder. Now go ahead and get your cartridge ready. Go ahead and, if you're just starting plants, go ahead and put them in the cartridge. If you already have an established plant, the easiest way that I have found to handle the cartridge with the Airstone and such is by having this harness installed. So you get a harness with your tube kit, simply grab a couple cords on either side of the crib. It balances the crib, but it gives you a way to handle it so that you can put the crib into the tube in the Airstone in a controlled manner. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and put the crib into the cylinder. Really important, make sure you give the crib and everything a good rinse right before we go into the cylinder because we don't want any loose debris to go into our clean filled cylinder. Now I'm going to carefully lower the crib into the cylinder. Kind of grab a hold of the Airstone and just guide it into the cylinder because once again, we do not want to hit the side of the glass cylinder with the Airstone. If you do have roots already coming through your cartridge, just simply guide those down in as well. Just take your time and just guide the crib right down into the cylinder. And I do like to place the lacing on the crib towards the front of the cylinder, like so. Now we want to go ahead and top off the cylinder to your preferred height to accommodate the plant that you're growing. So this is a Dieffenbachia. He does like to have his roots submerged. So I'm just going to go ahead and add a couple more inches of water to make sure that that whole root line is submerged. And we're ready to attach the air line. Now we're gonna connect the air pump. And if you notice, the air pump has 2 air leads that are teed and intersected into one air line that goes to a back siphon valve, which is very important. The back siphon valve keeps water from being sucked out of the cylinder in case you would have a power failure. So make sure that is in place. Then connect your 6-foot line to your back siphon valve. And you can either do your disconnects here on the lower portion of this 90 that connects to the tube. And when you put the hoses back onto these fittings, these can be pretty tight. A lot of times I found that maybe just a little touch of Vaseline or just a little bit of a lubricant will really help you get these things to slide on and off. So you can make your connection on the lower 90, or you can also disconnect from the upper 90. Once you have your air hose connected, here is your volume for your air stone. And I like to run mine on full. And once again, you run your pump 24 hours a day, only run your light 12 hours a day. And here's how the timer works for the light. So once you plug it in, the light comes on. Simply push it. 16-hour intervals will start, or 12 hours or 8 hours as soon as you toggle the correct setting. I only run my lights 12 hours a day. So there's my setting. So if I get up at 6 in the morning, set it for 12 hours, it'll go off at 6 at night. The only time you need to reset your timer is if the power goes off. And that's it. You guys are gonna absolutely love your bubblers. I know I love all mine. So that's pretty much the setup. If you have any questions at all, I'm available to help you with setup or guidance on plants. Just simply email me or call me. Thanks from Plant Daddy, and enjoy your bubbler.